Welcome to Slides. Today we are here with a chapter from class 8. It is also in class 7th and common for both, and that is the rational numbers. So starting with the rational numbers. Now first of all, let us revise the numbers that we have studied in our previous classes. The numbers, numbers are divided into various categories, and we will start with the first and foremost category that we started learning in our KG classes, and that is we started with the counting. Okay, now counting, what is counting? Okay, we start the counting from 1 onwards. We never count the things like 0, 1, 2, 3 like this. We never start counting the things. We start counting from 1 onwards. So here the first category of numbers come in the form of natural numbers. What are natural numbers? They are counting numbers. Okay, so first category of numbers from which we started learning were natural numbers. Okay, natural numbers are counting numbers and they are denoted by the capital N. Okay, so first category of numbers, natural numbers, they start from 1, 2, 3, 4 and continues up to infinity. Infinity means it never ends. There is no last number that we know till now. Okay, so here it goes on till infinity. Okay, next is the category of number that comes the whole number. In these category of natural numbers, we have included 0 also. Okay, including the 0, the category of numbers that we study is the whole number, and that we denote by capital W. It starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and continues again up to infinity. So difference between the whole numbers and natural numbers is only of 0. So number of whole numbers is greater than the natural numbers by only 1. Okay, so now and that is 0. Only 0 is more in natural numbers in comparison to the whole numbers. Now the next category of numbers also came with the thing that the temperature, when we measure the temperature, then the temperature is never always in positive. The height, when we go below the sea level, the height goes below the sea level and that is in negative. Now with that came into existence the integers. Integers are the category of numbers which are denoted by either I or by Z. Okay, I or Z, and they include all the negative numbers, all the positive numbers as well as 0. 0 is never positive, neither positive nor negative. Okay, that is why we separately tell in that category of integers we include the negative, positive numbers as well as the 0. So 0 is the only number which is neither positive non-negative. Okay, so three categories of numbers are natural numbers, which are counting numbers starting from 1 continues up to infinity, whole numbers starting from 0 and continues up to infinity, integers including all the negative and positive numbers as well as 0. Now the next category of numbers that we are studying in the chapter, and that is rational numbers. Rational numbers are the numbers which are in the form of P upon Q. These are in the form of P upon Q, where this Q should never be equal to 0. If Q is equal to 0, then the number is not defined, because division by 0 is never defined. Okay, so here it comes in the, it does not come in the category of rational numbers. Okay, so the rational numbers are numbers which are in the form of P upon Q, where P can be any integer, but P and Q can be any integers, but Q should never be equal to 0. Okay, and these rational numbers are denoted by the capital letter Q. Okay, so rational numbers which are in the form of P upon Q, where Q should not be equal to 0, and P and as well as Q can be any integer except Q should not be equal to 0. Next comes the irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are the numbers, they are denoted by Q bar. Okay, now they are the numbers which have the decimal representation which is non-repeating and non-terminating. Okay, the decimal representation is non-terminating, terminating and non-repeating, and non-repeating. Those are called the irrational numbers. Now the example of these irrational numbers are like root 2. we are calculating the value of root 2, then its decimal representation does not ever repeat, nor it terminates anywhere. Terminate means to stop anywhere. It neither stops nor it is repeating. Like when I change 1/3 into decimal, then it comes repeating, though it is also non-terminating, but it comes as a repeating decimal representation. That means 0.3333 comes, so we just put a bar here, 3 bar. It is nothing like that in the case of root 2. It is non-terminating as well as non-repeating. So all the numbers like root 2, root 3, root 5, they come in the category of irrational numbers. And one more category of numbers that we are having is real numbers. Now real numbers. What are real numbers? Real numbers are all those numbers which can be represented on the number line. Because they are real, so we can show them on the number line. So all categories of numbers, including natural, whole, integer, rational, irrational, all we can show on the number line, and that is why they all come in the category of real numbers. Okay, so these are the categories of numbers: natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, and real numbers. So real numbers are denoted by capital R. Now there is a question that if there are real numbers, then there may be some kind of imaginary numbers also. Yes, there are imaginary numbers also, though they are not in our course. Imaginary numbers are not in our course, but imaginary numbers can also be there, because a question can be put up that if there are real numbers, then there can be imaginary numbers also. So imaginary numbers are there. For example, if I give you an example of root -4, then this is an imaginary number. We can't show this number on the number line. So they come in the category of imaginary numbers. So real numbers are all those numbers which can be shown on the number line. Now, coming to the properties of these numbers. All these numbers have certain properties. Now these numbers, when we go through any kind of mathematical operation on these numbers, then these mathematical operation on performing these mathematical operation, if the same kind of number comes in the answer, then we say that these numbers are close to that particular mathematical operation. For example, if I say we are having 4 main categories of numbers that we studied just now: natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, and rational numbers. All integers, all natural numbers, all whole numbers come in the category of rational numbers. If I write a number 2 here, then that is also a rational number. It is having a denominator 1, so it is in the form of P upon Q. So it always comes in the category of rational number. Now the various mathematical operations. What are the various mathematical operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, as well as division. Okay, now if on addition the natural number gives natural number as the answer, then what do I say? That natural numbers are close to addition. So this is called the closure properties. We are studying the properties related to all these natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, and rational numbers. So this is called the closure property. When performing a particular mathematical operation, if the same kind of number comes in the answer, same category of number comes in the answer, then we say that the numbers are close to that particular mathematical operation. Let's come to addition. In case of addition, if we add two natural numbers, if we get a natural number in the answer always, then we say that the closure property applies here. That means natural numbers are close to addition. Does this happen? Let's see. Let's take any two natural numbers, 2 and 3. If I add 2 and 3, then answer comes as 5. That is also a natural number. Okay, so if we take any two natural numbers and I'm adding them, the answer always comes as natural number. So that means, what do we say? That natural numbers are close to addition. In the same way, in case of whole numbers also, whenever we add two whole numbers, we always get a whole number in the answer. Example is this only: 2 and 3 are also whole numbers, so 2 plus 3 gives me 5. That is the whole number. 5 and 8. If I add, then that also is equal to 13, and that is also a whole number. So this whole numbers are also close to addition. Integers are also close to addition, because addition of two integers always give me an integer. Next is rational number. In case of rational number also, rational numbers are also close to addition, because the addition of two rational numbers also give me a rational number. Now in case of subtraction, is it possible every time that the addition of two natural numbers will always give me a natural number? No, sorry, subtraction of two natural numbers will give me a natural number. It is not possible. If we take the example of 2 and 3, or if we take the example of 5 and 7, let two natural numbers be 5 and 7. If I subtract these, if I put a minus sign in between, then the answer is minus 2, which is not a rational number, which is not a natural number. If I do 7 minus 5, then I get 2. It is a natural number, but the conditions is not true in each and every in each and every situation. Therefore, natural numbers are not close to subtraction. Similarly, whole numbers are also not close to subtraction. Integers, when we add or subtract two integers, then we can get integers in the answer. So integers are close to subtraction. In case of rational numbers also, they are close to subtraction. So in case of subtraction, natural numbers and whole numbers are not close to subtraction, means every time when we add two natural numbers or two whole numbers, sorry, subtract two natural or whole numbers, it's not necessary that we get the whole number as answer. Now as in case of addition, all the three categories of numbers are close to multiplication, because whenever we multiply the two natural numbers or two whole numbers or two integers or two rational numbers, we always get the same category of numbers. Okay, you can take any example. In case of natural numbers, if I take the example 5 into 7, that gives me 35, which is the natural number. In case of whole number also, these are whole numbers also. If we take any other example, for example 8 into 6, that gives me 48, that is also a whole number. In case of integers also, if I take a negative and a positive number, minus 2 into 5, then that gives me minus 10, that is also an integer. In case of rational numbers also, if I do 1 by 2 into 1 by 3, that gives me 1 by 6. So that is also a rational number. So they are all close to multiplication. Now if we come to division, in case of division is same as subtraction, that if we divide two natural numbers, it is not necessary so that every time we get a natural number. In case of whole numbers also, if I divide 2 by 3, then it is not necessary, it is not possible that I get a whole number. So it does not, and they are not, whole numbers are not close to division. In case of integers also, they are not close to division. Similar as I did here, 2 upon 3, it will never give me an integer. In case of rational numbers, when I divide two rational numbers, they are close, but only exception is 0. When, as I told you in the very beginning, that q should not be equal to 0. So there is an exception of 0 in when the division is by 0, then it is not possible that we get a rational number as answer, because division by 0 is not defined. So in all other cases, rational numbers are close to division, but when the question comes of 0, then it is not possible. So we say that rational numbers are not close to division. Okay, so that is the closure property. Now the same in the same way, we are having commutative property, associative property, additive inverse, multiplicative inverse. Like this we are having other categories of other properties also. Let's come to the commutative property. Commutative property. What is commutative property? In case of commutative property, we take any two numbers, then if we interchange the position, then also the answer should be the same. That in that case, the commutative property holds. That means a plus b should be equal to b plus a. If it happens, then we say that in natural numbers the commutative property holds. Okay. Now in case of commutative property, let us see whether they are close in addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So in natural numbers as well as whole numbers, integers and all. Natural numbers, then whole numbers, integers and rational numbers. Okay. Now in case of addition, does this commutative property holds in natural numbers? Now as I told you here itself, a plus b is equal to b plus a. Is it possible? Is everywhere a plus b is equal to b plus a in case of addition? Yes, it is always a plus b equal to b plus a in whole numbers, integers or rational numbers. If we interchange the places, then it gives no effect on the addition of a sum of two numbers. That is why natural numbers commutative property holds in case of all the natural numbers, whole numbers, integers as well as rational numbers. Now in case of subtraction, can we say the same thing in case of subtraction? A minus b will be equal to b minus a. No, it's not possible. A minus b will never be equal to b minus a. In any of the cases, it is not possible. So, in case of subtraction, the commutative property does not hold. Now, in case of multiplication again. Now, in case of multiplication, it is possible every way. Okay, because whether we do a into b or we do b into a, the answer is always the same. Okay, now the last is division. In case of division, it is not possible in any of them, because if we interchange the places, then the answer also changes. So commutative property is related to interchanging the places. If we interchange the places in two numbers. Okay, if we interchange the places in two numbers, then in that case, whether the answer remains the same or not. Okay, so it holds in case of in case of addition and in case of multiplication, but not in case of subtraction and division. Now we come to the associative property. Now in case of associative property, we are having three numbers. Associative property. In case of associative property, the numbers are interchanged. For example, we are having three numbers a, b and c. Okay. Now, if we interchange the position, then in case of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, are the answers same or we get the different answer? For example, if I say the three numbers are 6, 5 and 2. Okay. Now, if I add these two numbers first, 6 plus 5 and then later on I add 2, then what do I get? 6 plus 5, 11. 11 plus 2 is equal to 13. Okay. Now, if I do 6 plus 5 plus 2, then in that case also 5 plus 2 is equal to 7 and 7 plus 6 is 13. So it is possible. Okay. So in case of addition, whether we change the places from here to there, then also the answers are the same. So all the numbers hold the associative property. The associative property applies on in addition in all categories of numbers. Now in case of subtraction, is it possible that we get the same answer? It is not possible. So in case of subtraction, this property does not hold. If we first subtract 5 minus 2, that gives us 3 and 6. After that we subtract it from 6, then it gives the answer 3. But that is not possible in case of when we do 6 minus 5, that is 1, and then we subtract 2 from it, then we get the answer in negative there. Okay, if we put a minus sign here, in the same numbers, then just see that answer differs. Here we get 1 and then we subtract 2 from it, then we get the answer minus 1 here. And here if we do that, then 5 minus 2 gives us 3 and 6 minus 3 then gives us 3 here. So the answers are different. So here in case of subtraction, this associative property does not hold in any of the numbers. But again in case of multiplication, it holds in all the 4 category of numbers. In case of division, again the same thing is the same. It does not hold in any one of them. As the position changes, the answer also changes. So here the associative property again It holds in case of addition and multiplication, but not in case of subtraction and division. Now, these are the properties related to the addition, various mathematical operations. Now, few more properties are there related to 0 and 1. Now, the property related to 0 is the 0 is called as the additive identity. Okay, why it is called the additive identity? When we add any number to a given number, then if the answer remains the same, then we call it as additive identity, and 0 is the additive identity in case of natural numbers, whole numbers, integers as well as rational numbers. In all the four cases, if we add 0 to either natural number, whole number, integer or 0, the answer is the given number itself. Whatever is the number given to us, the same will be the answer, because 0 has no value. So that is the additive identity, that if you add any number to 0, it gives the answer as the number which is added, that same number comes in the answer. Same is the multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity is for the number 1. Identity, that is for the number 1. Okay. Now, in case of 1, whether we multiply it to any natural number, whole number, integer or rational number, again the answer is always the given number, whatever is the number given to us. 2 ones is 2, 3 ones is 3, 4 ones is 4. So, anything multiplied to 1 gives us the same number in the answer. So, this is the additive identity. Additive identity is of 0 and multiplicative identity is of 1. Okay. Next identity is additive inverse. Additive inverse is also called as negative. Additive inverse, or we can also call as negative. Every number has a negative. Okay, except the number 0. 0 is neither positive nor negative, so it does not have any kind of additive inverse. But we are having additive inverse of all kind of numbers, natural numbers, whole numbers, integers as well as rational numbers. All have the additive inverse. And what is the additive inverse? Just the negative of the given number. That means the negative of a number a is equal to minus a. Okay, now what is the identity here? That the number added to its negative or additive inverse always gives the answer as 0. That is our property of additive inverse. So what is the additive inverse property? That a number, if added to its additive inverse, it always gives the answer 0. In case of rational number also, the additive inverse of a upon b is minus a upon b. So if we add both of them, then our answer is 0. So that is the additive inverse property, that a number added to its negative gives us 0. Similarly, we are having multiplicative identity or a multiplicative inverse also. Multiplicative inverse, that is also called the reciprocal. Now always remember that inverse and reciprocal have the same meaning, but inverse is used in additive inverse and the other word for additive inverse is negative, and the other word for multiplicative inverse is reciprocal. In case of multiplicative inverse also, the property is that the multiplicative inverse of a number is its reciprocal. That means the multiplicative inverse of a is 1 upon a, and whenever a number is multiplied to its multiplicative inverse, the answer is 1. Okay, when a number is multiplied to its multiplicative inverse, the answer is always 1. That is the multiplicative inverse property. And additive inverse is when a number is added to its additive inverse, the answer is always 0. Now one thing I'll mention here, that 0, as I already told you, that has no additive inverse. It is neither positive nor negative. In the same way, here also we are having an exception, that 0 has no reciprocal. So here, as in case of this thing, 0 has no additive inverse, as well as in case of this also multiplicative inverse also, 0 has no reciprocal, because nothing multiplied to 0 will give us 1. The multiplicative identity, what is the multiplicative inverse identity? That a number when multiplied to its reciprocal gives 1. But what should we multiply to 0 to get 1? Nothing multiplied to 0 can give 1. So, here in this case multiplicative inverse we are having an exception, and that is 1. And one more thing, that 1 and minus 1, these two are equal to its reciprocal, are always equal to the reciprocal. Just when you do it, try to do it, you will find out that both of them are equal. Whether we write the reciprocal of 1 minus 1, then it will be 1 upon minus 1, so the whole fraction will be minus 1, and in case of positive 1 also it is the same. So these were the few identities: additive identity, multiplicative identity, additive inverse, and multiplicative inverse. This is the half chapter done of this thing, rational numbers. In the part 2 we will just discuss how to mark the numbers on the number line, and how to find out numbers between the rational numbers, and all those we will have them in the next video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe for the channel. Thank you.